and the place when I first heard the good news. And that moment on, sing, I started to live for you. It's amazing how now in the
Hello guys.
Welcome to Equally Yoked, and we are the Danisos.
Yes, sithi abodolo dlangamandla umchengo mfingo ngwenyankomo. Ozulu nibalandweni na.
I feel like I should have been ululating there, but my ululation game is not that good. So
You let me down there.
So I'll just stick to Paul's. Paul's.
Yeah. Welcome guys. It's so nice to be here. Thank you so much, Equally Yoked, for including us in this exciting thing. And we are just so excited to just spend a few minutes with you, all the Equally Yokers out there. Great times ahead, guys. Let's just talk about a whole lot of issues together with you. Looking forward to that. Babe, what's up?
So we were asked to just discuss, I think, a few questions regarding marriage.
Yeah.
First one, obviously, being our story of love and our story of marriage, how we met. So, babe, the story, the story of how we met. I think it was at a church wedding. There was a couple that had asked me to be a bridesmaid and him a groomsman, but he was not my partner. He was caught up with somebody else. So
remember that wedding? I do remember that wedding.
So we had planned a whole trip to Eastern Cape, that he would sit next to me, which didn't happen. He ended up driving. We ended up sitting next to each other after driving back to the Eastern Cape, from the Eastern Cape rather. So that's how we met, and from then on we've been friends ever since. It didn't start with love.
No, definitely. I remember that wedding, beautiful wedding that we had, Eastern Cape, Kutsolo, and I think we traveled together. It was a beautiful time.
We're still young.
We were still young and full of energy, full of life, and it was, rightly. I mean, it was really an innocent process at the time. I don't think there was any love in terms of romantic feelings. It was really just a nice friendship vibes.
That's true. I think you did that thing. What's that thing that they were talking about? Where the people were...
Sniper!
Yeah, it's a sniper.
Thing.
Yes, when they're crawling on their stomachs.
Yeah.
What is it? It's not a khubuluza. What are those people that were called to KZN, babe?
Amabuto.
Yes! He did that.
Can't believe you went there. Yeah, Amabuto. Yeah.
Yeah, so you pulled an Amabuto move on me.
You can't keep a good man down. I mean, I had to soldier on. But I mean, I think as soon as I understood them, there were some feelings involved. Then it was just what it was, and we took it from there. And this and that, church processes later, we managed to get into it.
Yeah, we managed to get into it. Yeah, that's true. So it wasn't really. It was just a friendship.
Yeah.
We pushed friendship for quite a while. Yeah, pushed friendship for quite a while.
Maybe longer than I wanted though. But it was a beautiful friendship, I must say. Though I mean, there was really nothing sinister. There was really nothing unnatural about the friendship. I think it was really like a very perfect and a very fun. I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah, me neither. I think it was a good foundation for us both. To just discover ourselves and each other and have each other's back as well, So it was very not under pressure, to sort of put the right foot forward. So it really exposed a lot of who we are to one another.
I think I mean the jury's out, but it's really up to how you interpret it, because when it comes to it, I mean I didn't get my time to really sift through the things that I would like to sort of position, how I want to position them, or maybe omit this and that.
You must be woke.
So I didn't really get to that. I would say that love or marriage snuck up on me. And
Me too.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way I would rather have it. I think any love story is just perfect how how it unfolds, and ours is no exception. How we unfolded
Yeah.
is exactly what we needed for our time, and
For our marriage.
if I needed to, yeah, for our marriage, if I needed to go through a season of being in a brother or friend zone, then so be it. But I mean, the
Nah.
most important thing, I couldn't be kept there, right?
At some time, he was my poodle.
Ah, come. I've been a penguin, I've been everything. A poodle, imagine, I've been everything. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's all, the journey, and,
Yeah.
and we completely appreciate it.
Yeah.
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 Because even though, I mean, we can view the whole background thing as a weakness, it is, in fact, it should not be viewed in that light as a weakness. I know, with the emotions being heightened, and you're dealing with a lot of things, yeah, one can be tempted to view it in the light of a weakness, when it should actually be viewed as a strength. Because at the beginning, when you decided to choose each other, that was not information that you were obscured to. So the whole background question for me, it's something that should be viewed more as your strength. It is a dynamic that you need, that the new entity that you have formed, that it needs. You are coming with your own background. You are coming with your own experiences, what you've learned. You're coming with a mindset that has been informed by all the whatever you've been through, and all the different choices and experiences that you've encountered, and so is the other party. But the point is really that, even though one of our our issues have been sort of born out of the whole differences of backgrounds, but we still don't view it as a weakness. We rather view it as a strength, and I think it sustains us during those periods as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's just good to be mindful of the fact that uniqueness does not mean weakness. Difference does not mean weakness.
Yes.
It's all about the way you view it. It's two different characters, two different personalities, value systems that are similar but not the same. You know what I mean? But you're trying to merge all of that to come out with the best of both worlds, basically. So it's about having that type of mindset of understanding that we want, it's all in the mind, literally. Once you condition your mind to focus on the end result, then you are more able to direct your conversations. You're more able to direct anything that happens around the household, because you're motivated by the end product of what you want to see. So I think that that's the thing that really helped us and has sustained us in terms of really making sure that we always every time we want to take a short left, you always sort of redirect yourself to say, this is what we want. I mean, we had a 10-year plan that we prayed over when we first got married, which really helped us to sort of chart our way to be like, okay, in these 5 years, within 5 years, we want to attain this. Within 10 years, we want to have this. And every time, there's a conflict or there's an assessment of some sort of the relationship, we always look at how far we are from attaining, our 5-year plan, our 10-year plan. And that thing helps us a lot to sort of be grounded and to come back to the center of it all, which is just, making sure that we give God glory and godly fruit from our marriage. So that's the advice that we have for our couples out there. I think the other one.
The other one, I think the other one is also it's not a separate thing, but it's really also the natural progression of a marriage, which is when the kids come. I think that's the second one, that if you were to look at one of the challenges that I definitely know that from exposure that it's not a unique one to us only. I think most couples will encounter that at some stage. You're used to each other, you're used to sort of a routine that you've developed as the two of you, and then comes a blessing, which is a blessing that needs more attention, and that needs you to give more attention and sometimes more priority to, which is the child. So it sort of changes the whole dynamic of the family, and it's definitely, it brings a whole lot of element to how you set yourselves up as a family, and it really touches a lot of elements of your marriage as well, be it your quality time that you're used to, catching up on that series that you want to catch up on. It speaks to finances, how you move them around, priorities. It means sometimes the sacrificial element as well, in terms of
Spontaneous dating.
the spontaneity, the going Kruger National Park on a weekend, the waking up randomly and deciding to do something that sort of falls away, which until you really get to it, you really and actually see the disturbance that it causes to your natural flow as a couple, and in terms of your personalities as well. If you're a spontaneous person and you can no longer be spontaneous, then that if not carefully managed, then it's got an element of causing more conflict within the two of you. I think we're not immune to that challenge as well, and it's a continuous thing, because we're talking about one child, two kids, a big family. So with each and every one of those steps, you literally have to just manage that. So kids, guys, kids.
Yeah, just
There's
being
no
helpful.
random things happening around the house. It's everything has to be just structured. So guys, not to be taken light, that one. It's definitely how you manage the kids. It's not a problem, but rather a challenge that you just sort of have to play around, and also get into your minds, because a lot of these things just need you to really get your minds around them. And I did say that's just around the whole thing of adjusting yourself to a season, and understanding that there is this element now that we need to deal with that was not existing. So it's not one of those things where you want to get things to be how they used to be before, but rather taking them as the challenges where they are now, and saying, this season calls for us to be more strict around our budget, strict around our time, and be more systematic than spontaneous. There's a season for spontaneity. Unfortunately, with kids, you sort of have to
Slow down a bit, review.
That's right.
Yeah. Any advice for our singles and our married couples?
I'm gonna start with the singles, and my answer is just gonna be more around my gender, which is the guys. And with the singles, I would say, we always the element of prayer. Look, prayer is very important, and I cannot discount how important prayer is when you're looking for a partner and for a spouse. But one thing that I want to say is, for me, it's when it comes to looking for a wife, or praying for a partner, the biggest prayer and the biggest work that needs to happen is within yourself. Finding a spouse, finding a wife should be viewed as one of the steps towards your growth, one of the steps towards attainment of your dreams, or attainment of your purpose for your life. So I mean, from that statement, you can reap out the fact that before you can even think of involving another person within your life and your life's journey, is to really find the journey, find the destination, find where you are trying to. I'm not saying have a perfect, in terms of know exactly what needs to happen, and along the way you'll figure that one together. But at least have a direction in terms of where you're going to, what your purpose is, and then go back to find now a partner, a helper that will find you that will help you in terms of getting there. So the biggest prayer that you need to make is really around yourself, and by praying for yourself, you'll be able to recognize the blessing of the wife that you need for it, and not necessarily praying for somebody who's gonna fit in with you, because You don't need someone who's gonna fit in. You need someone who's gonna fit in with the person you're trying to become. Which is why we touched earlier on the point of backgrounds. Because I mean, our minds tell us that I need to marry somebody who's coming from the same background as me, but our destinies tell us that we need to find somebody who is matching the destiny, who is matching the qualities of where I need to end up. So don't abandon your prayer for your wife, but just structure it around yourself. Who do I want to become, so that when it comes to recognizing the person that is going to come, remember, you are looking for a wife. God is not looking for a wife. You are the one who's looking for a wife for the attainment of the purpose that God has put over your life. So that's it for the single people. And for the married people, I think it's really, let's not put too much pressure over ourselves. This is an institution that we are getting into, gents, as we haven't been prepared for. I'm talking to people that haven't been married before. We haven't been prepared for it, and we will make some mistakes along the way. We will not get other things as quick as we get others. So I think as partners, for both men and women, we should just try to be patient with each other. Let's try and work together towards this. And it's important, I think you've just touched on the element of a plan as well, which is the first thing that we did in terms of setting up a clear vision. Not just saying a vision for saying we want to become this and this, but a clear path, a clear vision of saying in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, 15 years, this is what we are going to do, and this is what we want to achieve. And to achieve that, we want these steps to have happened. You know, the whole the flow of the steps, might be interrupted in terms of how they follow each other, all these things that you want to achieve. But ultimately, you know where you're working towards. You need to have a clear picture of where you want to end up, so that every decision that you make should be sort of weighed and guided by where you want to get to. This speaks to each and every element of your life. The friends you make, your choices in terms of where you stay, your choices of careers, how many kids you have, and the gaps in between those kids. Everything is just informed by a vision that you have. So that's really, I would continue, but I think I'm just going to stop there for the purpose of this session. But that's my advice to both the singles and the married that are listening, the equally yokers.
Nice one, babe. That's really nice.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's deep. Let's see. So to the single ladies, I would say, do what you need to do in your season of singleness. Be faithful to that.
Yes.
Really, if the Lord requires you to dig deeper into, investing in a relationship with Him, and just going out and just being also out for Him, then do that in that season. Because trust me, in the next season you won't have time to be doing all of that. So just make sure that in the season of singleness you are really faithful, and you are developing all those character traits that you need to develop. Because crossing over or getting married will not rid you of any bad character traits. That stuff you do on yourself. Those character traits you develop by yourself in your singlehood, and by the time you get married, then you know that, I've gotten rid of all these negative things. I'm ready now to really give about, or to bear good fruit, for my marriage. So just make sure that you're faithful in that season of singleness, so that you can just really become a whole person or a whole unit by yourself, you and God by yourselves, before you include the next person. And that'll really count a lot in your marriage, I believe. For the married people, I'd like to say, just love thy husband.
Yeah.
Love him with all you have. Love him. That will definitely then turn into that submission, that will turn into that love that is unconditional, you know, that the Bible speaks of, one that does not count wrongs, one that is always hopeful, you know, one that literally forgives, that type of love. And also guard the spirit of marriage within the two of you. That's a responsibility that I feel both partners have or are given. This is from a scripture read in Malachi chapter 2 verse 15, which says, you know, God created man and not us, and he inhabits each and every part of marriage, or of a marriage. And it also says that therefore we should guard the spirit of marriage amongst us. So I believe it's very important that we each play that role of safeguarding our marriage and making sure that the spirit that is in it, which is the spirit of God, because God is the one who made marriage himself, if he is in the center of this marriage, then you know exactly what the rules and regulations of marriage are, and those are the rules and regulations that you should abide, you know, by.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that you should make sure you are within the parameters of every time you're operating in marriage. So guard that spirit, make sure that nothing tries to infiltrate that. By doing that, you will make sure that your marriage actually becomes fruitful and bears godly fruit. Yeah. You'll make sure that you're not stagnant or you know, not bearing any fruit. You want to make sure that whatever is happening in here is then taken out into the community and then gives about good life. The way to sort of counter moral decay in our society is instilling good morals within our marriages, which then obviously is passed down to our children and our workplaces, the way we handle ourselves in our workplaces and in our individual other spaces. That then, you know, sort of pours out because of the lifestyle that we live inside or when we're together. So it's important that we guard that with everything that we have. We are really thankful to our Equally Yoked family.
Thanks guys.
Yeah, we appreciate this opportunity. We love you guys.
Yeah.
And we are happy to grow, and we're happy and excited to see other couples as well come through, even after us. So thank you, and from the Danisos, it's nighty.
It's a love thing, a love thing. She's written in my heart, love of my soul. It's a love thing, it's a love thing, yeah, a love thing. Said, ooh, oh, yeah. I remember the time and the place when I first heard the good news, and that moment dancing my